Everything changes and everything stays the same. Nothing has changed, but everything is different. Does that make any sense? Does it make sense that everything is the same as it always has been, but it's completely different at the same time? Is that a paradox? Is that what they call a paradox? I think that's a paradox, but I'm not sure. Some kind of literary fucking game or some shit. But so, I mean, I think you already know what that means. I think you can already understand what that means. Farming has always been around. Houses have always been around. Houses, farming, getting food and water, people working, people not working, such as me. Then there's but then there's no new buildings. There's new businesses, new technology. There's um, new challenges. Ah, I just wanted you guys to see me drink some water. I don't know why, but I thought maybe I'll show myself off drinking some water. That's how clueless I am. I have no idea what kind of video I should make, but I thought maybe somebody would like to watch somebody else drink some water. Jesus. Ah, ah. Water is good when you're thirsty. Water is the best thing when you're thirsty. I mean, there's Gatorade, there's Coke, and those things are nice. But when you're really thirsty, all you want is just some cold water. Some cold, good water. So you got some water. We're in the desert. We're in one of the hottest deserts. Well, Yuma. I'm in Yuma, Arizona. I'm in Yuma, Arizona. This is my hometown. This is where I was born. And Yuma gets really hot in the summer for about, from about May, June, July, August, September. For about 4 or 5 months, it gets really hot. But the rest of the year, it's fairly cool. It's really cool, and it's sunny, and it's a beautiful place to live. Beautiful place to live. We are very fortunate. I mean, there's a lot of places probably that have good weather in the world, but Yuma has probably some of the best weather for going out and doing things, for playing sports outside, basketball, volleyball, fishing. You could fish probably year round here. You could fish probably year round and still catch fish. Um, yeah, we got some beautiful weather here in Yuma, which is probably why it's growing so big. It's grown a lot since I was small. We used to live in a little trailer. We used to live in a little trailer when I was a boy, a young boy, with my stepdad and my brothers. We lived in a trailer, and next to our trailer there was a steel, like a, it wasn't a junkyard, but people had thrown a bunch of steel beams and shit. A bunch of steel beams, all kinds of. It looked like a junkyard. I'll say that. There was a bunch of steel beams and shit thrown around next to our trailer, and we never got that moved. But we didn't care. We were kids. I have three brothers: Luis, Fabian, and Robbie. Robert. We call him Robbie. But we didn't care. We had fun. We had fun. We just played with our super soakers. our Nintendo. We got a Nintendo Entertainment System, and we used to play that all the fucking time. My stepdad used to play a lot, and we like to just watch and you'd follow along as he played games. We loved Final Fantasy. I remember watching him play Final Fantasy. I loved that game. It was probably one of the first video games that I enjoyed. Like following the story and watching my dad play the game, and I would wake up early and watch him play Final Fantasy. So I played all the Final Fantasies up to about 9 or 10. I played 10. I know I played 10. I don't remember 11. So I played up to Final Fantasy 10, 11, and on. I didn't play at all. But I loved those games. They were all very similar to one another, but um there were things, especially the first ones, the first 3 and 4. I mean, actually, yeah, the first 3 were the most incredible, I thought, games. The first 3 were the most incredible. I mean, the first one, I thought it was so cool because it was very simple. It was very simple, but it was kind of cute. That's a weird word to use, but it was cute. Like they had the drawings of it's a video game, so it has animation, but the animations were so simple. If you know Final Fantasy 1, 2 through 3, the animations are so simple. They're little pixels, so there's just these little characters, and their swords would move, and they accumulated um, experience, and you would gain money. You would win money from the monsters that you defeated. And you were constantly trying to heal yourself and find tents, find places to save, and going around gaining experience. So it was really interesting. I loved those games. I loved the first one especially. The second one was also cool. The third one was cool. The first 3 were just amazing. I thought, man, these are some incredible games. They're so simple, but they're so interesting. You know, the music that I know. I think you probably, if you play the games, you remember the music. They just had these little melodies, that would stick in your head. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Dun, 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 dun. That's the melody of the. I think that's Alexandria or something. I think that was the first. And the first one, you'd go into the you'd go into the city, walk into the city, or the town, the little town, the village. I guess it was a village. I was looking for the word town, city, village. The village, and that little song would come on, and you feel all you feel all warm and happy off of a fucking video game. I don't know if if anybody. I mean, I'm sure there are people out there that have experienced that, where you play when you were a young boy, and you played these. You're obviously younger when the first games came out, but you got so much pleasure, so much enjoyment from playing. Like the simple games, the very simple old games. Like Sonic the Hedgehog. When you're a boy, that's all I wanted to play. When I first saw Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Genesis, I was like, dude, this is amazing. It looks so three-dimensional. And it really did. It actually looked really good. It had amazing animation. Even the first ones, I was so impressed by them. And nowadays everything's so um, it's it's a lot more advanced, but at the same time, I don't think you get as much enjoyment out of games, especially not competitive games, as you did those first games. Those first games, it was just so simple, so beautiful. Just so beautiful. And Ah, so I would watch my brothers and my stepdad play Final Fantasy. We played. I remember there was the Toads, Battle Toads, I think it was called Battle Toads. Anybody remember that game, Battle Toads? It was so funny, man. It was such a funny game. I used to laugh my ass off because there was the first. I think it was the first or second boss or some shit, and it was like this big old machine that had legs. It had these big. It was this big machine that had these steel legs, and it would kick you. So you had to punch it, and when you punch, it would go pop, 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 and then it would pull back, and then boom, it would deliver a strong punch. So you would punch, 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 jab, 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 and then boom, you'd punch really strong. But there was a pause between the little jabs and the big punch. It was like punch, 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 and then you'd stop, boom, and then you'd punch. So while I was waiting for that big punch, you'd get kicked sometimes. You'd punch, 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 and then it would kick you before you could, and you'd be like, oh shit. So you'd have to battle it, battle it, battle the damn machine, and then the other enemies that you had to fight. it was it was funny, man. It was those simple games, you know. Oh, those simple games like Super Mario Brothers. We used to play Super Mario Brothers, and I thought it was the coolest, one of the coolest games. Simple game. I was just a boy, and shit was so things were so simple. So people say that a lot. Things were simpler back then, and I guess what they mean is that there were less there was less of an expectation. I think back back then people's expectations were lower, or people's standards were lower, or something like that. There was no internet, so there was no Facebook. There was nothing. There was no internet. There were no phones. Were landlines. People had landline phones that were corded. With cords. There was we didn't have computers growing up. We didn't have a computer growing up. We didn't have cable for a large part of my. Even now, we don't have cable, but we have a television, but we only watch Netflix in the evening sometimes. But I've grown I've grown to enjoy. I've learned to enjoy not doing anything. And that probably sounds kind of lame, or I don't know. I don't know how that sounds, but I've learned to just enjoy just sitting down and I've watched, I've been on the internet a lot. I've watched every fucking video you could possibly think of, just everything. And I've gotten bored. I got bored of the internet. I honestly get bored of the internet. I watched, heard, listened to all the music, and I've seen every fucking type of video. Like not every video, but every type of video that you could watch. It seems that I've seen it. Chess, Halo, Call of Duty. You know, people cleaning houses, people fixing houses, building houses. Uh, I've seen videos, all kinds of videos, and I'm sure everybody's pretty much the same as seeing shit tons of videos on YouTube. But I've gotten to the point that I've gotten kind of tired of watching videos. I've gotten bored. It feels like it's a drain now. I'd rather just sit and not do anything. I don't know why. I've gotten to that point where it's just like there's too much naked women everywhere. It's just like it's too much. It's just too much. All the excitement of people doing all kinds of incredible things, and I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting there watching them. I'd rather just not do anything. At least I don't know. At least I'm not watching them succeed and you know, conquer their lives while I'm just sitting there watching them do all kinds of things, and I'm just judging them for the way they do it, and I'm just being a big hypocrite, just sitting on my ass, which I still do, but I don't know. I feel better when I'm off the internet. I feel better. I feel happier. I feel more relaxed. I guess it's kind of stressful, watching videos. That might seem strange to hear, but it's stressful. It's just like there's nothing I want to watch anymore. I've seen it all. You know, I've heard it. I've heard all kinds of music, and it's all just garbage. It's all just I don't know. Everybody's just making money. It's a drain. It's a drain in a way, and I guess it's kind of strange that I'm making a video about not watching videos. Don't watch videos. That's hypocritical, but when I'm not making videos, I just sit around. I just sit around. I just enjoy doing nothing. I just enjoy the day, the silence. I enjoy. Once in a while, I'll listen to some music. I'll do some writing in my journal. I eat my meals, and yesterday we went to a jazz festival. We went to this small little jazz festival. It's not a festival, a jazz concert. It's called the Jazz Series or the something like that. The Jazz Series. I have a video about it. Maybe I'll post it. It was just a simple. It was just four. It was just a four guys. A guy on the clarinet and the tenor saxophone. A guy singing and playing the trombone, and a guy playing the bass, and a guy on the piano. So it was okay. It was all right. I wasn't very into it, but we sat there and watched it. It was quite a good turnout. It was very good turnout of people. There was a lot of old people, some younger people, but mostly old people with white hair, gray hair, senior citizens. But it was somewhat enjoyable. But for the most part, I just sit here, and in a way, I kind of wish I was playing video games. But I've played a lot of video games in my life. I used to play a lot of Halo Reach. I used to play Halo One. Halo was my favorite game. One of my favorite game. Favorite competitive game, I'll say. But I used to play a lot of Halo, Call of Duty, and I kind of got sick of those things too. It's difficult online. Online is difficult. Playing competitively is. I mean, when you're young, you want to compete all. You want to compete a lot, but no, I'm not that old. I'm 35, but I'm I'm getting up there. I'm 35 years old. Shit. Shit's kind of like I don't know. I'm not as excited for everything as I used to be. I used to be excited about everything. I used to be excited about going to the store, and now it's just like, oh, I gotta go to the store. I used to be excited about going places. I mean, I still get excited about going places. I like going places and doing things and all that, but it's not like when you're young. It's not like when you're young. When you're a teenager and a child. I've had a good life. I've had a lot of good experiences in my life. A lot of good experiences, a lot of good days, a lot of boring days. Many days where I don't do much of anything but sit around and watch TV or clean my house, do laundry, shit that everybody does. Jesus Christ, man. Jesus is the Lord. Jesus is the Lord. Jesus is the Lord. I really enjoy not doing anything, but maybe I shouldn't enjoy it so much. I should get to work. I should be more active and do things. That's something that I realized many years ago when I gained a lot of weight from being at home and eating snacks all day and shit. I realized that you have to stay active if you want to be healthy. If you want to be healthy and in good shape, not be fat and obese and depressed and shit all the time. It's good to stay healthy, or it's good to stay active. You know, active. Play a sport, play basketball, do something. You got to do. It's like you got to do something. Something. Not. I mean, it's nice to sit around. I know I just said I enjoy sitting around a lot, and not doing anything. But besides not doing anything, it's so important to stay active. And it could be. It doesn't have to be very difficult. Do some push-ups. If you do 100 push-ups a day, you're doing a really good job. That's a good way to stay fit, strong, healthy. If you're doing push-ups, it's good. There's people that do stretches, that just do stretching, Pilates or things like that. But some kind of movement. If you're doing some kind of movement with your arms and your legs, or you're doing crunches, or stretches, things like that. Any kind of activity where you're doing with your body moving, walking even, just walking. If you're just walking, walking's good. Walking's a very good exercise. If you walk long distances, even better. The more you do, the better it is, because it's just as you get older, there's this tendency to just sit around, not do anything at all, and that could be very depressing in a way. It could be very, very dull. And that's what I do most of the time. But besides that, I try to remember. I remember every day. I was just like, I got to do something. If I haven't done anything for a couple days, I say, okay, got to start walking again. So I walk a mile and a half, walk a couple miles down the canal bank, and then I'll come home. You know, do dishes, mop, sweep, mop. But staying active is so important, because it's just an important. It's just a necessity. It really is a necessity. Your body your body functions better. Your your breathing is better. I don't know. I think your breathing's better. but your circulation is definitely better. Your mood improves. You know, it's just makes you feel like you're doing something. Otherwise, you're just sitting there just worrying about your health. You worry about all kinds of different things. You worry, it's like you don't want to be worried all the time. You gotta do a little bit of something to yard work. Yard work is fun to do. It's rewarding. I think doing yard work, taking care of plants is very beneficial. But it's just a fact of life that if you don't do anything, you gain weight. You know, and it's important to stay healthy. It's important to exercise. And even if even if you have a job, even if you have a good job, even if you're successful, you still have to look after your health. Your health is it's an obligation. If you neglect your health, you're neglecting you're neglecting you're neglecting a very important part of your life. And a lot of people know that. A lot of people understand that. Everybody pretty much understands that. But I think a good way to help, a good thing that would help people, that if you don't walk a lot, or if you don't exercise a lot, or often, is to become more adventurous. I think people, men and women, we were designed to be much more adventurous than we are now. Than we are, sitting at home and just not doing anything. It's like I lived in Mexico for a while, for a few years, and I became, very bored of just sitting in my little house all the time. So I would go on long walks. I would walk, like 4 or 5 kilometers and back 4 or 5 kilometers, and I'd go around and I just look for things. I'd look for things on the ground that I could pick up. I found a lot of things. I found a lot of t-shirts, clothing. I'd find like a sock. I found a soccer ball one time, and there would be snakes that I would see snakes, and I would see horses and cows, and uh, I just walked along the highway, and I would walk, you know, almost daily. Very many, like probably about 4 or 5 days out of the week, I'd be walking, and just making sure that I'm exercising, because I started gaining weight again, and I said, shit, I got to get back to it. I got to start walking again. I got to do some kind of exercise, even if it's just walking. Even if it's just walking, at least you're getting fresh air, you know, helping your circulation and your nervous system, and just breathing, just letting the sun, uh, shine on your skin, and just feeling the sun and stuff like that, hearing the birds and all that stuff. It's very good. It's very good for your mind, and for your heart, and your attitude. Actually, I've been doing push-ups recently. I've been doing push-ups for the past 4 days. Yesterday I missed because we went to the jazz festival. I had to go somewhere. Then I went to the jazz festival, and when I got back, it was kind of late. So I said, oh, I don't really want to do push-ups this late. But the 4 days before, I've been doing push-ups. So today I'm gonna get back on doing push-ups or take a walk. Probably gonna do push-ups. I like to do 100 push-ups at a time, or not at a time, but you know, within about an hour, 30 minutes. I'll do 100 push ups or 140 push ups around there. and that'll be my exercise for the day. I also like to do stretching, but anyways, I could be doing much better with my exercise regimen. Time is it? I gotta check the time. Time is about 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. My mom gets home about 5 or 6, sometimes 7. I would really like to start painting. I used to watch a lot of Bob Ross growing up, and even recently I would watch Bob Ross, and I liked his style. I liked his the way he would just be very calm and very gentle and explain, just talk, make some comments and stuff. And he really seemed to enjoy painting. And I've seen a lot of painting. I used to watch John Beckley also. I don't know if anybody's seen John Beckley on YouTube, but I used to watch John Beckley, and he was very he. I mean, he did some amazing paintings, and so I've been wanting to get into painting. I have a actually found a paint by number. I don't know if anybody does paint by number, but I found a paint by number, like a canvas with the numbers on it and the paints that my mom had laying around. So I've been wanting to do that. I might be doing that soon. And if I do that, I'll post a video of me doing paint by number. that's the only t- that's one of the only type of paintings that I could do besides some of the Bob Ross stuff that I've watched. I think I could do some mountains and some evergreen trees. Nothing so great, but just a little bit of a painting. I've always wanted to paint, and but I don't have I don't have money to buy paints, and I don't feel like bothering my mom to buy paints for me because I don't know, because I don't think I would ever sell my paintings. I don't. I mean, one for one, I never painted before, but I just don't really see the point of painting if I'm never going to be able to sell my paintings. But who knows? Something fun to do, I guess. I used to write a lot. I used to do a lot of writing in my journal every day. I used to write things, my thoughts, my feelings. It's a really nice day today. It's a really beautiful day today. Probably about 75, 80 degrees outside. Starting to warm up since it's March 22nd. March 22nd. It's starting to warm up, and I like it. I like the warmth. I like the warmth of summer. I always enjoyed, you know, not always, but a lot of times I would enjoy the warmth of summer. Some people were bothered by all the heat, and I used to be bothered by the heat. But then I listened to this woman speak at a church one time. I went to this church called Mount Zion, and this woman came from out of town, and she said she really enjoyed the heat. That she really enjoyed the heat, and I said, well, she enjoyed, like even sweating and stuff. I think she said, I don't know if said that, but she said she enjoyed the heat and she liked coming to Yuma because she liked that it was hot. And I said, well, I kind of enjoy the heat too. So ever since then, I think I would I enjoyed the heat a lot more. She was a speaker from she was like a traveling evangelist, and she used to go to Vietnam and stuff like that. I don't remember her name, but I enjoy the heat. I enjoy the coolness too. You know, I enjoy March and January, December, February. I enjoy year round because the weather's beautiful here in Yuma. The weather is just it's always good. It's always pleasant. It's never too bad to not be outside, even though during the summer a lot of people like to stay inside, including myself. You know, I don't like to be in the heat all the time, but some days I'll go out there. But yeah. What time is it? It's 3 o'clock. Mm. All this talking about walking, I'm thinking of walking into town. Town is about 4 or 5 miles from here, but I would like to go into town, walk into town. I don't know if anybody's ever seen videos of like scavengers or people that go through trash cans and find and look for items or food, and then they sell the food or they give the items away. But I used to watch videos like that. There was this video called Heather Halls, and then there was another one called Volt, Drive In Volt, or something like that. Drive In Volt or Volt. And there was one called Heather's Halls. Heather's Halls, and it was just people that go through dumpsters and find things to sell or to give away, food, and there's a few people that found I mean, there's a lot of people that found some really good things. You know, they find unopened packages of food, you know, cookies and treats and all these things, and I thought it was very interesting. I thought it was very, very. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really cool and something that I could do. You know, there's just not a lot of things that I like to do, and dumpster diving is something that I could do since it's not very difficult. I mean, anybody could do it. So I like to watch those videos. So I was thinking of walking into town and maybe go dumpster diving, see if I can find things. Sometimes people leave things outside their houses, and if there's anything good, I would like to take that and maybe bring it home. The only thing is that I don't have a car. I don't have a car, so I have to walk, and I have to so I have to drag. You know, I have to carry all that shit with me, whatever I want to sell or give away or whatever. But anyways, I don't know if I'm gonna do that. But I definitely have to get to my push-ups, so I'm gonna end the video. You have a good day. If you enjoyed the video, then I'm glad. You know, subscribe, comment, and thanks for watching.